Tonight on News 5 Live, News 5 takes a closer look at a controversial Children Act amendment and what it means for grandfathers raising their sons' children. An unapproved jetty in Corozal threatens serious environmental impact near Ranchito Village. Joseph Budna is wanted by police for cyberbullying. Kumpel Williams also talks about a recent charge brought against his brother for a similar offense. And in tonight's episode of Meet the Candidates, we visit the culture capital, Dangriga. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
Helped me out a lot because it comes with free tuition. The money that my parents would have paid, it can go to something else. Like at home, it could go to groceries. The uniform, it's a big help because it adds more on what I have already got. And the free food, it helps by making sure I have a steady meal for the day.
They have less things on their mind to take care of, to think about, so they are more into academics. You know, I mean, the food provided, tuition provided, internet access provided, uniform provided, so they have more time to study.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, February 9th. I'm Carla Ayers Musa. A study done by UNICEF and the Statistical Institute of Belize 5 years ago revealed that only 24% of Belize's children have the support of their fathers as they grow up. The study shows that a mother's presence is not guaranteed as well, with only 68% caring for their children in their first year of life. Established in 1998, the Families and Children Act provides a legal framework for advancing the rights of children, with their best interest as its main priority. From its inception, a man has been required to maintain the children of any of his children under certain circumstances. That portion of the act is not as commonly known as the part that mandates a man to maintain his own children. But it became the center of a heated debate inside the Senate on Thursday. The questions everyone now asking are, should grandparents be required by law to maintain their grandchildren in the absence of biological parents? Or should this section of the act be repealed and replaced? News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
On Thursday, members of the Senate debated a controversial amendment to the Families and Children Act.
The biological father, the biological parents of a child should under no circumstances be relieved of the responsibility of maintaining their children and putting it on the shoulders of someone else.
The legislative amendment was encouraged by a High Court ruling back in September 2023. The court ruled that Section 48, subsection 1 of the Families and Children Act was discriminatory.
That section is discriminatory because it imposes a liability on a man to maintain not only his children, but also to maintain the children of his wife who are living with him at the time. Whether those children are his biologically or not.
With the High Court ruling in favor of the unconstitutionality of that subsection, an amendment was necessary to reflect the judgment. But a section that may not be common knowledge also exists under Section 48 of the Act. Section B states that every man is required to maintain his own child and the children of any child of his.
The point of the matter is that the law is there, the Families and Children's Act, and the amendment that was made in order to ensure that children are maintained. That is the first and foremost responsibility that the Act is putting on people, adults, when you are in a family situation. You could adopt a child, you could be fostering a child, and that child becomes what you call a child of the family.
Dolores Balderramas Garcia, the Minister of Human Development, explained that the obligations to a child falls on either the paternal or maternal grandfather under special circumstances.
But here's the thing that was mentioned. Why would you place responsibility, for example, on a grandparent? No, we're not saying that elderly people should be mining picnic. That is not what we're saying. But if you read the thing carefully, and that's why I say some of them just like to argue. If you read the thing carefully, it is saying that you look at the responsibility only where the biological parent, mother or father, they cannot be located, they are ill, or they are unable to maintain themselves.
Notwithstanding the fact that this has been enshrined in the laws of Belize for many years, Michael Perifit, the lead UDP senator, argued on Thursday that Parliament has an opportunity to make certain changes.
The court is the court. And if the court has made a decision, if they interpret the law in such a way as it is written, and it comes with a result that's not what we accept or what we like, with all due respect to the court, we are Parliament. And they can make a decision in the High Court, but we in Parliament, we make the law. This is an opportunity, Madam President, to make a law that is sustainable to people and makes sense.
Would Cabinet consider reevaluating this approach if there is a great deal of public concern that warrants such?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. We have rich discussions in cabinet about the social issues of our country, and we have many people everybody, I would say, who are very concerned about our social issues. But I wouldn't say that we should prolong the conversation. I think again, I have said and I repeat, the best interests of children have to come first.
And concerns did not only come from Senator Perry-Feet. Other senators raised issues of unfairness.
I know that there seems to be an effort to secure the well-being of children, and I think that is a noble effort. I think that in the instance of the grandparent, where it becomes mandatory that they maintain children, where their children are unable to, whether through loose lifestyle practices or whatever it is, I think it's extremely unfair.
I look, Madam President, at, for example, my own father, who passed away about a year or so ago. He was, 92 when he died. He had one son. So just imagine my brother had children that he didn't take care of. My grandfather, who was 92, 91, based on this law, because this was a law back then, could have been held accountable for any child that my brother didn't take care of. Am I correct, leader? Because that was the law. And so how then could my poor father, the grandfather of these children, not working anymore, being 90, 91, 92, be able to take care of these children?
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
On Thursday, the Senate also debated legislation that seeks to establish the National Women's Commission as a legal body. Lead UDP Senator Michael Perry-Feet argued that while the legislation seems like a noble effort on the surface, it gives the minister undue discretion for appointments. He further contended that the commission is a way for the government to employ political cronies.
This government likes to bring legislation that on the face of it, it looks noble, but when you really analyze it, it's anything but noble. It's like when you bring a budget or a supplemental and you have 10 things that are ridiculous, but you have one thing in there that nobody can object to. And if you object to the supplemental, you say, oh, you object to that one good thing. Think we're not smart, or when you think people stupid. A National Women's Commission. 13 members appointed by the minister. And if that's not bad enough, the minister have to appoint the executive director too. For monies to be determined, quite possibly by that same minister, or they put it as prescribed. Mr. President, we have an office that is known as, or a person in an office as a special envoy for women and children. We have offices to deal with these issues. We have a ministry of human development, which deals with man and woman. Are we saying that these people are not doing their jobs? Are we saying what? That we need this for what? This is a way, Mr. President, to find jobs for the government's cronies and lackeys, while you already cannot find money for existing public servants who are supposed to get their increment and their pay.
Today, we received a response to Senator Perry-Feet's comments from Dolores Valderramos Garcia, the Minister of Human Development. She outrightly rejected the notion that the commission is being used as a means to employ political cronies. Here's how she puts it.
I was disappointed to hear the lead opposition senator say, why do you have a National Women's Commission? And all the members are appointed by the minister. Well, this is the administration that is in office. And why would not the minister appoint persons to a National Women's Commission, which is so important to advise us on gender issues? And let me point out, for the record, that it's not jobs for cronies. It's not jobs for cronies. Every single member of the National Women's Commission, which is now a statutory body, serves without pay. It's a completely voluntary thing. So it's not jobs for cronies. The chairperson gets a small stipend for the responsibility, what you'd call a responsibility allowance. And of course, if a member of the Women's Commission has to come from Toledo or from Corozal to a meeting in Belize City, you would cover the food and the transportation. But it is on a voluntary basis. I'm sure Senator Perry-Feet wasn't worried when in the time of the UDP, everybody was appointed by the UDP government. I can think of some very good persons, Anne Marie Williams, Esther Ayuso. Many people served with distinction, and I would never put down those women because they had the gender issues of our country at heart.
A 2022 Inter-American Development Bank study on children in the care of the state in Belize found that sufficient data on the number of children under care or custody order does not exist. The study did, however, find that close to 500 children were placed under the care of the state between 2019 and 2021. Approximately the same amount of children exited the care by that age. Interestingly, 68% of the children who entered state care in that time period were between the age of 15 and 18. Minister Dolores Balderramos Garcia explained that while the state has an obligation to care for children in the absence of family members or by a court order, it comes at a cost to taxpayers.
Children get into the hands of the state and become wards of state through, number one, through a court order, but where a social worker will affirm that there is either abuse or neglect, right? Like, for instance, the very sad occurrence in Willows Bank where the mother was murdered and the little child was in a pool of water, a pond of water, and therefore had to be taken in by the state immediately. Those are the situations where Human Services Department and our social workers step in. And let me take this opportunity to commend all of them, because we have many children in care, either in the care of the state in government institutions, like say the Dorothy Menzies Child Care Center, or in private facilities that are sanctioned by the state. For example, LOL down in Toledo, Laugh Out Loud, and they have children, and then our inspector of social services institutions makes sure that they have proper amenities, makes sure that the children won't be abused when they go into care. There's a lot of oversight that we have to do.
And it costs?
Absolutely, it costs the government.
Coming up, Corozal residents raise environmental concerns over Caribbean Sea project. We'll have more details when we come back.
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Therefore thus will I do unto thee, O Israel, and because I will do this unto thee, prepare to meet thy God, O Israel." Man's preparation. A person prepares for an education, a job, a family, the building of a home, and even retirement. God also instructs us to prepare to meet Him. How sad it is that people prepare for everything but this one inevitable encounter. Some time ago, my wife and I were driving around in a city when we passed the city cemetery. To our amazement, we looked over and saw a big black baby grand piano sitting in the middle of the cemetery, located over a grave. The piano had been carved out of black granite and served as a tombstone. I was totally amazed. I had never seen anything like that before. It was obvious that some person was a lover of music, and especially their piano. They loved it so much that they had made prior arrangements in preparation for the piano to be placed over their grave when they died. I drove by that day wondering if they had also made adequate preparation for meeting God and spending eternity in heaven with Him. The Bible teaches us that meeting God demands preparation. Have you prepared to meet your God? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
A vote for the People's Democratic Movement is a vote for the love of the common people. Bring back justice, equality, and freedom for all. Belize's democratic movement promises to stamp out corruption and wasteful spending of the taxpayers' money. People's Democratic Movement supports teachers, the police department, nurses, civil servants, and our Belizeans. So as of today, let's hold all leaders responsible for their actions.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
Good morning, students. Welcome to the Venice Belize Hurricanes Academy Class 101. My name is Professor Cut 5. Now, in last week's class, it seems that the Tiger Shark students did not learn anything from last year. I'm hoping in this week's edition that the Orange Walk Running Rebels bring their notepad. Class is now in session.
They're playing basketball.
This Friday, February 9, the Belize Civic Center will be jumping once again as your three-time and defending champion of the BEBL, Venice Belize Hurricanes, led by their sizzling six, Lenzi Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Tyree Orozco, Jamel Harris, the African Burama Sidibe, and the three-point boss, Amar Ross, goes up against the Orange Walk Running Rebels, who have been talking smack lately. And it's time that the three-time champion Venice Belize Hurricanes
All on the floor.
gates open at 7 p.m. Entertainment commences from 8 with the Minorite Band, and then at 9 p.m. it's the Hurricanes versus Running Rebels.
One team, one big family.
Bring out the entire family this Friday night to the Belize Civic Center as your defending champion, Venice Belize Hurricane, takes center stage. Hey, primary and high schoolers, don't forget to bring out your posters and banners for the $1,000 competition. Then, of course, there's the Hopkins Hamanasi Resort First 5 contest for firms, family, and friends, valued at $5,000.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big.
The way the PUPs are boasting and rushing to open the new Hallover Bridge, one would think they masterminded it. But it was the UDP government that conceived, designed, and secured financing for the new bridge and repaving of the entire Philip Colson Highway that is currently underway.
Next month, I signed the OFID loan for the Hallover Bridge replacement. And this will top off the ongoing highway upgrading between Belize cities, Buttonwood Boulevard, and the PGIA Junction. And going in the opposite direction, there is funding from the UK via CDB for rehabilitation of the Philip Colson Highway right through to the northern border and including the Ramate Road.
Other UDP projects which the PUP have tried to claim credit for include the new Roaring Creek Bridge, which was already completed when they took office, and the Coastal Highway paving, completed last year, both of which they proudly cut ribbon for. Then there is the upgrading and paving of Caracal Road and the Sartaneja Road, with bridges replacing ferries, projects that are both nearing completion. It's amazing how the PUP politicians who told us we can't eat streets and highways have now fallen so much in love with UDP infrastructure projects. Belizeans, it is time to return to the party led by the true architects of transformation. Belize is always better with the United Democratic Party.
Forever Belize 2024. Vote PUP 11. Bernard Wagner, female, who always there with me. Here we come for tree, beat everybody, vote PUP. Bernard Wagner, female, who always there with me. Here we come for tree, beat everybody, vote PUP. We ready for election, vote PUP 11. Bernard Wagner with the plan, to make better things happen. Beautifying Belize City, reaching out to each community, involving more youth programs, uplifting all Belizeans. Bernard Wagner, female, who always there with me. Here he come for tree, beat everybody, vote PUP. Bernard Wagner, female, who always there with me. Here he come for tree, beat everybody, vote PUP. PUP 11. With his safe and track, no time for turning back. Belize, physical infrastructure, symmetry, economic development, more festival, smart city enhancement. So who we have vote for? Bernard Wagner. On election day, Bernard Wagner. Belize City Mayor, Bernard Wagner. Bernard Wagner, female, who always there with me. Here he come for tree, beat everybody, vote PUP. Bernard Wagner, female, who always there with me. Here he come for tree, beat everybody, vote PUP. We ready for election, vote PUP 11. Bernard Wagner with the plan, to make better things happen. Beautifying Belize City, reaching out to each community, involving more youth programs, uplifting all Belizeans. Bernard Wagner, man for the job. Bernard Wagner, win again. Bernard Wagner, on March 6, vote PUP. Bernard Wagner, man for the job. Bernard Wagner, win again. Bernard Wagner, on March 6, vote PUP. PUP 11.
The old age is over. Where we used to go to a library and do our research in books, now our research is done through computer. So it is very important for us to have that access for our children to gain the proper education they deserve.
And that's the purpose of this program, to bridge the digital divide and to empower individuals and communities with the necessary skills and knowledge to strive in the digital era.
Our commitment to closing the digital gap and making sure that no community is left behind is demonstrated by now connecting over 1,700 villagers to both digital technology and digital skills training through this center.
Residents of the Bay Shore Drive area in Corozal Town have voiced concerns over the extent of the environmental impact that a project can have in their community. The project is the construction of a jetty that extends several hundred feet into the Corozal Bay. Whether or not the property owner has gotten the requisite environmental permits to carry out the construction, the residents say they have already begun to see changes in the sea immediately next to where the construction is taking place. They shared with News 5 their concerns about the project and its impact on the ecology in their community.
Yes, we just had a small breakwater and a very small beach here. And with the advent of this wall, you can see that the whole tide has changed. Number one, the water is deeper on the other side of the wall than it is in this harbor. And the sand is building up. Sand is building up inside that area, and sand is coming over when the tide is high. It's coming over and filling out this rocky area here,
which is right in front of your property.
That's correct. Yes, I know this isn't the finished product. This is intended to be a wall as tall as the one on the other side, and I can't really imagine what that will do then to the water. What we will get environmentally when that whole area is locked off.
I live right next door. So it directly impacts me in every way you can think of. And of course, we've had a lot of problems with noise, with the construction, with large trucks unloading boulders, with backhoes, with an excavator, you name it, we have had it. And I used to have a view of the lights of Carzal. Now I have a view of a brick wall going out into the ocean, and it probably impacts the value of my property.
Why do you need that big of a breakwater? I could understand if somebody wants to put a breakwater out 50 feet. A lot of these shoreline properties have breakwaters put out to stop erosions, but they all had environmental impact statements done, and this one, by chance or happenstance, doesn't have anything done to it.
So 300 feet is the...
It's about 400 feet out into the bay. And so when you do that, why are you going to do that? Are you going to turn it into a water ski arena? Or are you going to turn it into a jet ski arena? What are you going to do? There's no reason for doing the development like they've done it.
Just with the ecology of the sea out there, everything from algae all the way to the big fish that come through here is going to be affected by it. So detrimentally, I don't know, but I wouldn't think it would be positive. Well, obviously I love Belize. Obviously I think Belize is beautiful along with its people. I love everything about it. And I'm just really cautious when it comes to any sort of big man-made situations that we've got over here. It's going to cause some problems.
While the residents of the community are concerned about the project that they believe will cause significant environmental damage to the sea and marine life in their residential community, they are probably right. The Chief Environmental Officer at the Department of Environment, Anthony Mai, told News 5 that they have given the owner no permission to build the jetty, which sits in the Carzal Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. Mai says the department had issued a stop order on the project, and that order was violated.
So the Department of Environment is aware of the construction of the jetty in the Carzal Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. In fact, we had received an application for the construction of the jetty. The owner of the jetty started the jetty in terms of construction a few months ago, and so a cessation order was issued for the activities to stop in terms of the construction. And so we were in communication with the owner of the property and the jetty, and we were looking towards settling the violation. And then we informed the owner that he would have had to go on through a process before the DOE consider whether to grant clearance to the jetty or not. It is unfortunate that during the discussion in terms of settling the matter, the owner went ahead and continued with the construction. So there has been no permit from the Department of Environment that allowed the construction of the jetty.
What would have to be done now? Obviously, the work has already begun and it extends into the sea.
Yeah. So currently, the activity is a violation under the environmental laws, and so the owner will be held responsible for that violation. And
when Jane Ifyanichineki died of stage 4 colon cancer a few years ago, her husband applied to the Social Security Board for widower's pension, believing that he was eligible to collect those benefits. His application was denied, and he subsequently sought the counsel of attorney Orson Elrington in a claim against the SSB. According to Dozier Ifenicheki, he hired a lawyer to pursue the matter with a view to collect what was due to him under the benefits regulations. But instead of resolving the matter in court, a settlement was reached between the Social Security Board and the widower's lawyer, one that he says he never agreed to. Ifyanichineki also contends that the sum that was settled upon was far below what he could have received had they taken the matter to court. Tonight, he is suing Elrington and Company. Here is what the disgruntled widower explained to News 5 happened when SSB deposited the settlement funds into his lawyer's account.
On March 22nd, on March 22nd, 2022, I submitted a letter of application to the Social Security Board for my wife's pension to assist us in these put it in street language, hard times, tough economic times. On April 29th, I received a letter from the Social Security Board denying me of my claim, being convinced, based on my conviction and the legal opinions that I received. I made the decision to challenge the decision of the Social Security Board at the Supreme Court of Belize. That was a decision that I took, right? And then on May 17th, 2022, I obtained the legal services of a Belize City attorney to represent me at the Supreme Court in my case against the Social Security Board. What he did was that in that conversation, he explained the provisions of the SSB Act unlawfully discriminates against me because of my sex, which is a violation of my rights under Section 16 of the Constitution of Belize. Now, we all know the Constitution is the highest law in the land, no? I think we all know that. Now, having explained what my options are, he asked what recourse I would take. I explicitly, there was no if and but, I explicitly instructed him to file a constitutional lawsuit at the High Court against the Social Security Board. In that way, by way of a legal victory, I would then seek relief in respect of my wife's pension and vindictory damages. It was on October 18th, 2023, at about 2:24 p.m., I received a telephone call from the attorney informing me he accepted the settlement from the Social Security Board. To be honest with you, when he mentioned that to me, I had absolutely no idea what he was talking about. All right, and so I
pause for a minute and let me ask you the follow-up question.
Yes.
When he said he received the settlement, what quantum are we looking at? What are we talking about in terms of the actual dollar amount?
Well, what I saw a draft, and I want to emphasize the word, it was a draft. It was, that's it, a draft. And on it was written $46,588. Right? That was what I was shown on a draft.
News 5 contacted attorney Orson Elrington for a response to the claim being brought against him. While Elrington told us that the matter is before the court, he did mention that the matter was initially taken on as a pro bono case, which he believed was a landmark case for gender equality. He explains what created the disagreement with his former client.
We effectively did the matter almost on a pro bono basis, on a contingent basis, because the person said they essentially had no money to bring this claim. But I often tell people that I went to law school not to gain any money, but because I want to do what is just and what is right for people. So what is essentially is that we brought a claim on behalf of Dozie based on the fact that we're saying that a provision in the Social Security Act discriminated against men. Effectively, a provision in the Social Security Act treated men differently than it treated women. It had a higher threshold where there were persons where their wife would have died were treated differently than a woman if their husband had died. And so we thought that the matter had very good merit, and therefore we took the matter to the court on behalf of Dozie. However, when the date that the matter was supposed to go before the court, Dozie contacted us and effectively said that he no longer wanted to accept what he had already accepted because he discussed with his family. That is the crux of it. We informed Mr. Dozie that that is simply not something that we can do. We informed him that the matter was completed, that we had entered into a consent agreement based on his instructions, and therefore we could not simply just go back and say we no longer want to accept what he had already accepted. And so that is where the issue lies. We thereafter told him that he could provide us with his banking information, and he subsequently said that he wanted not only the sums which the Social Security had settled on, but he also wanted for us to surrender what would have been our agreed portion. And so for me, it seems, and I believe it is nothing more than greed.
On February 2nd, the Belize City Council issued a letter to the Christian Workers Union informing them of the implementation of a consensual workplace agreement. The Belize City Council claims that it was created to avoid discrimination, exploitation, favoritism, and harassment. The document is to be signed by both parties involved in the relationship, as well as a witness, and it states that, quote, while a social relationship continues between them, neither of them will request, apply for, seek in any way, or accept a direct supervisor or reporting relationship with the other, end quote. Here's what President of the CWU, Leonora Flowers, had to say on the matter.
The feedback from the union has to be that our members were never consulted on that. It was never brought to CWU. All we got was the document that said this is a consensual agreement, consensual relationship agreement. At first glance, and I'm no lawyer, but at first glance for the common man, the reasonable man will look at that and say, we cannot go ahead. I cannot sign on to this. So we've indicated to our members, give us your feedback. Did you have any input? And there has been no input from our members to the council. So we're at a loss as why or where that originated from. But CW will not have any of our members signing on to such an agreement.
So you expect that having sent that letter to the union, at some meeting, it's going to be raised by the council?
We don't know what to expect. To me, it should be a dead issue because that is something illegal. To me, you cannot go ahead asking people to sign away their rights when a CBA exists. The most the council can do is to create a policy to say we will not allow fraternizing, and if fraternizing is happening, these are the pitfalls and this is what the council will do. But you cannot say you can sign on to a consensual relationship agreement between persons working under this establishment. We cannot greenlight that.
When you say sign away their rights, you're talking about privacy rights for one.
Privacy rights, and you may be in a relationship, so you're going to put it in an agreement for the council to do what? You cannot have people sign away that kind of rights.
After the break, what are the municipal issues in Dangriga? But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
track, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nos mantenemos las calles limpias, yeah. Haciendo cambios en el país. Mantenerse en el buen camino. Necesitamos trabajar juntos. Lo que quieres y necesitas, el partido para la gente, haciendo un mejor Belice, yeah, yeah, yeah. PUP cambiando vida.
Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando. Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando.
Todos juntos nos seguimos avanzando, trabajando en la comunidad, nos seguimos avanzando. Todos juntos nos seguimos avanzando, trabajando en la comunidad, todos ganamos. We're looking forward into the future, no turning back. We're staying on track. What a beautiful sight to see. We uplifting the whole country. One PUP canopy. A PUP for every village, city and town. PUP cambiando vida.
Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando. Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando.
Nos mantenemos las calles limpias, yeah, haciendo cambios en el país. Mantenerse en el buen camino. Necesitamos trabajar juntos. Lo que quieres y necesitas, el partido para la gente, haciendo un mejor Belice, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando. Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando.
These are the facts. Through the Belize Education Upliftment Project, the government has provided free education to 3,166 students in 9 secondary schools. This includes tuition and all fees. The government provides uniforms, a healthy meal, and transportation to these students. In June 2024, 12 more schools in Belize will benefit from totally free education. The ministry, through the Connect Ed program, has also provided 197 school sites with high-speed internet access. This has directly benefited more than 66,000 students and almost 4,000 faculty and staff. The work by this government is impacting lives. When we provide access to education and the tools to enhance that education, we build a stronger nation. Let them know.
Tell them we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track. PUP forward. Tell them we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track.
That's right. We're moving forward and staying on track with the People's United Party. We know the park crab timing for walk back way. Calling all delegates of our great PUP to join us for a massive National Party Council meeting on Saturday, February 17th at the Memorial Park at 1 p.m. Come out and meet your dynamic candidates from every municipality in our jewel. San Pedro, Corozal, Orange Walk, Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio and Santa Elena, Benquevejo, Dangriga, and Punta Gorda. Music from the baddest artists and DJs will be vibing up the place from 10 a.m. At 1 p.m., listen to inspiring addresses from your national leaders as we gear up for a huge victory for your PUP in municipal elections. Remember, it's the Memorial Park on Saturday, February 17th at 1. Forward always, backward never. Come out early and let them know that we stay on track with for we PUP.
We clean that street when need fi fix. We pave that bridge when need fi build. We build that canal when need fi fix. We fix that. PUP carry the country on top.
It means a lot to me. I think often people forget the elderly. I can remember when this elderly lady walked through the customer care department. We have a section in the lobby where it labeled Golden Citizen, and Golden Citizen get priority. I called her over and asked her to come. When she came over, like a little sadness come over me, because the look what you have in your face and your eyes, and you know she had a lot of struggle during her years. Put back in the connection in the system for her, and I guess that from then, that when she was the first person that was on the Golden Citizen. And if I can remember, back then we paid the bill for them in full, and it's only a small handful. We had a Golden Citizen ceremony, and they present to them the Golden Citizen like a little certificate, and she was here. I feel good that elderly citizens across the board are being assisted with by this Golden Citizen program. So yes, I feel so good that they're being assisted.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this blind. I can't let this blind.
On March 6th, the electorate will go to the polls to vote for municipal government in their respective city or town. Until then, the political parties are visiting with voters in their area and presenting their platforms on which they seek office. The UDP team consists of mayoral candidate Hubert Lucas and councillor candidates Frank Calise, Adeline Estero, Cindy Fajardo, Anthony Garbutt, Stephen Laurie, and Dwayne Sampson. The PUP team consists of Mayor Robert Mariano and councillor candidates Martha Robinson, Gilroy Flores, Liberato Teul, Howard Flores, Howard Melendres, and Gilberto Bernardes. In tonight's episode of Meet the Candidates, we speak with the mayoral candidates and their teams from both major political parties.
My name is Hubert Alexander Lucas. I'm the UDP mayoral candidate for Dangriga.
Yes, sir. What are the issues that you are campaigning on?
Some of the issues that we are campaigning on are proper drainage in Dangriga, proper streets, employment, and more activities for the youths. I will go and solicit funds from central government and from other countries. I will become a partner with sister cities around the world so that Dangriga be the envy of the nation.
Main accomplishment has to do with the amount of roads that we have paved. We have paved at least 18 streets around Dangriga during this short period of time. We have also opened 15 new roads around Dangriga, especially in the Rivers Estate area, New Site and Wagerali area. Those streets were important to people of Dangriga because the past administration had given out lots in those areas. But the people didn't have access to their own properties, right. So what we did was to open the lots so that they have access. We have dealt with the playgrounds.
2021, I run up as a third party with the Belize People Front.
Why have you joined the UDP in this round?
I decided to join the UDP in this round because when I look at the UDP vision and mission, it shared the same sentiment as the philosophy that I carry now for the people, right? We work for the people, and that is why I decided that I will join the UDP.
What do you bring to the table?
Well, I have years of leadership working with youth groups. I have working with women's group. I work with the diaspora. I'm a past president for National Garifuna Council Dangriga branch. And
what would you like to see get done if you're elected this term?
Well, I need to work a little bit more when it comes to empowering women, women's group as well. I will work with them and make sure that they have more opportunities when it comes to entrepreneurship. And so that's why I'm looking at that.
The campaign efforts were as vibrant in Dangriga on Sunday as they probably are in all other cities and towns, with the municipal teams for the various political parties making their rounds. In the blue corner are the incumbents, Mayor Robert Mariano and his team, and in the red corner are the hopefuls, led by Hubert Lucas. Mariano feels that as mayor, he has done enough in his first term to be re-elected. The UDP's Hubert Lucas says that Dangriga needs and deserves much more, and he's willing to seek help from the central government and international donors in order to deliver. In the middle are the voters, who have also listed what they want to see happen within the next 3 years. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
Dangriga Mayor Robert Mariano is seeking re-election for another term. He believes that while there is much more that needs to be done in Dangriga, he and his team have delivered on quite a few accomplishments to seek another term at Town Hall.
We have paved at least 18 streets around Dangriga during this short period of time. We have also opened 15 new roads around Dangriga, especially in the Rivers Estate area, New Site and Wagerali area. We have assisted with tuition in relation to schooling for some students. We had a center where we had people who have jobs, can call it what we refer to as the employment center. And we also have people who are looking for employment who can come. They apply at the Dangria Town Council. And then whenever people say that they need somebody to be employed, then we would call them and tell them, well, you know what, you can go to a certain area and you can get a job.
The incumbent mayor is banking on his successes. However, his political opponent says that he and his team have been listening to the people. Hubert Lucas shared that plan should the UDP team be voted in.
Well, the first 100 days, we will look at drainage. Because when it rains in Dangriga, the kids cannot go to school, or the parents got to carry the kids on their back. We go create an employment center at the town council so that people who don't have a job can get jobs. Say you got an opportunity for somebody to come and work at your house. We go create a center where they can come to the office, where you can call the office and we can call someone that qualifies for the position that you have.
While both mayoral candidates have their own ideas of what Dangriga needs, a few of the voters shared with us what issues are affecting them in Dangriga.
My son, a friend with what the youth say, and they full up my yard. So I try help them to make the would do wali. I'd make drum, so I would use them to make the like bark, the log, help
give
me.
Them jobs.
Yes, give them job.
The main thing that the road there, how the road there so look, because it kind of rough. And the dust and the thing there, they always affect like when you wash and the thing there, so a lot of dust will raise up, a lot of hole. Okay. And then the next thing that made it drain, because when it rain, all the water run off of the road and we get flood out every now and again. 1 and 2 times they come and they fix it up, but they don't need for like be more maintained, the drain and the thing there.
Sometimes for a whole month we don't have garbage collection. And then the dog come around. And even the horses now, they lift up the barrel top and they just take out the garbage with the drain again, the drain. They give me can go to school, or sometimes they go to school in our water. I have to make my one bridge with the cross, and that's not right.
Mayor Mariano says that if he is re-elected, he wants to buy more heavy-duty equipment for sanitation and infrastructural work. He wants to introduce a low-income housing program with collaboration from the DFC. He wants to improve the drainage system and partner with private businesses to open a jetty pier to cater to small cruise tourism from Honduras to Dangriga. Meanwhile, Hubert Lucas said that a municipal government under his stewardship will lobby locally and internationally for funds to carry out the necessary infrastructural projects. He said he will reach out to the central government through the Dangriga area representative for whatever assistance they need. And while he was campaigning, area representative Dr. Luis Zabane stopped by to greet Lucas. Yes. We took that opportunity to ask Zabane about his willingness to work with either team that is elected.
My doors have always been open and will continue to be open, and I look forward to the visit of our friend to come in and discuss whatever it is we need to discuss. It's all about the people at the end of the day. They're the ones who decide who they want to serve them, and whoever gets in there needs to come with a level of humility and a level of service. And I think that's characteristic of Dangriga, of the people of Dangriga. We work together and we try to do the best that we can. I have to work with whoever is there. Absolutely, that goes without saying.
Come March 6th, the people will decide. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
When we return, Kumpel Williams explains why he reported his brother.
Corruption and contention has been the order of the day in all municipal governments controlled by the PUP, and the Benque Viejo Town Council is no exception. Back in June 2023, evidence emerged of serious financial irregularities, specifically regarding issuance of checks. A report produced by public officers at Ministry of Local Government reveals that the mayor and sometimes his driver would on some of their out-district trips take blank checks to acquire purchases for the council. But there is no accounting of what exactly the money is spent on. As with Punta Gorda, the minister and the prime minister look the other way, even after the opposition UDP publicly calls them out. Also, as with Punta Gorda and Belmopan, there has been major infighting among the Benqueviejo PUP mayor and councillors.
But the very own councillors who are attacking the council.
If Bresenio and his government will not do anything about it, then it is time for the people to take action. On March 6, put an end to all the corruption and contention in PUP councils countrywide. Vote them out. In Benqueviejo, elect Marco Tessucum and the UDP team to restore honesty and fiscal responsibility. Belize is always better with the United Democratic Party.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
It provides like that help towards you and your parent, because normally kids, they're like wondering, oh, I'm not gonna go to school because I don't have money for lunch. So that was sometimes my situation, but then I'm like, oh, I forgot I have free food for lunch, so like I just come to school and it makes it way much easier.
We have about 365 students, and from that we have between 300 and 320 students eat from the feeding program daily. A lot of these students would not have gotten a meal. Some of them say that it's very difficult for them at their homes. So this is something that is given back to the society, given back to our students, and they are very appreciative.
PCC calls for proposals for constitutional reform. The People's Constitution Commission announces the commencement of Phase 3, the Stakeholder Outreach Campaign. In this phase, we make a call for proposals from any citizen or organization to submit their views, opinions, or recommendations on constitutional reform in Belize. The template for submission of proposals for the PCC are available online at the PCC website and Facebook page or in the major newspapers. Kindly scan the QR code to access the recommended template to submit your proposal paper. Proposals should be submitted no later than February 19th, 2024 to leon.dawson@mps.gov.bz. That's leon.dawson@mps.gov.bz.
These are the facts. 3,300 persons were trained in customer service, food and beverage management, safety and security, business management, tour guiding, tour specialization, and packaging in 2022 and 2023. The first ever tour guiding license clinic launched in 2023, with 693 licenses issued in 9 destinations. Currently, we have a total of 2,271 tour guides and 320 tour operators. There's been major infrastructural development across the country, including the total transformation of the Berger Field, the Fort George Tourism Zone, Constitution Park, music studios in Belize City and Orange Walk, and many other community development projects. The work by this government since 2020 is changing lives. More tourism means more jobs, more business, more opportunities. We are building a stronger nation. Let them know.
Tell them we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track.
In its Plan Belize agenda, the PUP committed to provide opportunities for deserving Belizeans to own a home. Within a year, the PUP through the MIDH delivered its first starter homes. To date, hundreds of homes have been handed out all across the country. One housing community is complete, and others are being constructed, including a community for public officers in Belmopan. The government has also financed the National Bank of Belize and the DFC, so Belizeans can access mortgages and build their homes. We are committed to our people, and we continue the work of building Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
Well, my name is Ismail Florian. I work at Caribbean Sprinter. I'm the station manager for Keycocker. I downloaded DigiWallet since at work we use it, and my boss actually was the one that told me to download DigiWallet. I use it every week, especially to buy top-up and now and then to buy groceries. Live for Free is going to help me with everything since I'm not having to pay anything for 1 year. Well, I chose Mr. Valencia Tool. I chose him as my person to pay it forward to. I really chose him because back in the day he used to help me out, so I'm just trying to help back our friend.
Do you want a chance to live for free like me? Just download and use the DigiWallet app. Thank you, Digi.
In its Plan Belize agenda, the PUP committed to enhance access to education and health in Belize. Through the Social Investment Fund, this government has already constructed the Maria Crawford Health Center in Crooked Tree, the Keycocker Health Center, the Belmopan Polyclinic, the Crooked Tree Preschool, the Santa Martha Preschool, and the Calcutta Pre and Primary School. We have upgraded the Crooked Tree Primary School and have built new school buildings for the Louisiana Government School and Orange Walk Technical High School. That is real progress and real commitment. We are working to build Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
Earlier this week, we told you that Commissioner of Police Chester Williams brought charges against his own brother, Arthur Williams, under the Cybercrime Act. Arthur Williams was charged with 2 counts of using a computer system to disseminate false information with the intent to cause another person to be subjected to public ridicule or embarrassment, and 1 count of using a computer system to intimidate a person. Arthur Williams was fined $10,000 for the offense. Today, reporters caught up with Kumpel Williams and asked him about his decision.
During my mother's ailing time, before she passed, my brother went to social media and referred to my mother with the H, with the W and the B word. No man should refer to a woman, especially his mother, using the W or the B word. I took offense to it and I went after him and I told him that he ought not to refer to our mother in such a way. And because I did that, then I became the bad one. Him and I had always had a very good relationship. Every time he reached out to me for help, I always helped him. But since that particular incident, he turned against me, and then almost every day he was on social media posting negative comments about me, trying to, as best as he can, to belittle me in every way possible. And I reached out to our older brother and asked him to kindly speak to him to discontinue. My older brother spoke to him and he did not stop. I reached out to our uncle and asked our uncle to speak to him. Our uncle spoke to him, he did not stop. And then I reached out to the ombudsman on 2 different occasions because he's a driver for the ombudsman. I reached out to the ombudsman on 2 different occasions and sent him the screenshot of what he had posted on social media and asked the ombudsman to please speak to him to discontinue because he is out there doing what he can to have the public see me in a light that I am not. And the ombudsman said he spoke to him and he still continued. And I guess as a person, there's only so much you can do. With all efforts made to have him stop doing what he was doing, he did not. So I am hoping now that with the matter before the court will be able to get him to discontinue. It's sad that it reached to this. He is my brother. I don't dislike him. I love him. We share the same mother, the same father. And I wish that he would have taken my advice in the light in which I had given it to him when he referred to our mother with the H, with the W and the B word.
The Belize Police Department and the Human Trafficking Institute has solidified their efforts in the fight against human trafficking and smuggling. On Thursday, the department and the institute signed a memorandum of understanding. Through the partnership, the Human Trafficking Institute will provide needed support to the Belize Police Department to decimate human trafficking in Belize. Kumpel Williams told us more.
Yesterday, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Human Trafficking Institute, HTI. That MOU has to do with enhancing the capabilities of the anti-trafficking person unit in Belize. When we talk about enhancing the capacity, we're looking at training as well as other resources that the unit may need to be able to discharge its function properly. You would know that human trafficking is a crime against humanity. And so as democratic nations, we must do our best to ensure that we rid our country of the scourge of human trafficking. And so it is with this spirit that we are partnering with the Human Trafficking Institute to see what they can do to enhance our capabilities to be able to discharge that very important function. We also discussed expanding the unit, and I can say that about 2 years ago as Commissioner, I had expanded the unit with additional personnel, and again I am planning on expanding it again. Whenever the next recruit squad graduate from the academy, we'll be putting an additional 3 persons there. And with that, we are also ensuring that we have the capabilities to be able to address the issue of human smuggling. Human trafficking and human smuggling tends to have a very close correlation, and so to be able to deal with that, we're going to make sure that the unit will deal with not just human trafficking but also human smuggling incidents.
On Thursday night, police captured a suspected murderer that has been on the run since October 24, 2023. 22-year-old Louis Blake was wanted for questioning in connection with the murder of Joel Andrews and Martin Shaw in Hattieville. Well, after months in hiding, it appears that Louis was spotted in the village and an off-duty officer pursued him. Commissioner Williams gave us more details.
You would know that for some time now we have been looking for Kenyon Lewis, not Kenyon, Blake Lewis. And again, Blake Lewis is wanted in respect of 2 incidents. The double murder that took place in the back of Hattieville and a recent shooting where a male person was shot and survived. And since then he has been eluding the police. We tried to work as best as we can to do OPs and surveillance and these sort of things to capture him. But he has always been able to stay 1 step ahead of the police. But last night the GI3 committed themselves to conducting surveillance and going into the area and do certain work. And the work that they did last night was able to flush out Blake Lewis. He was spotted by the team riding a motorcycle, and he practically rode into the police vehicle and fell off the motorcycle, and then he ran. The police pursued him and he managed to escape from them. A couple minutes later, he was encountered by a police officer from Hattieville CIB. And upon seeing the police, he fired 2 shots at the police, but the police returned fire. And he dropped his weapon and ran. Again, he was able to escape. We found the weapon that he had. It was picked up and processed by scenes of crime and will be sent to the lab. Today, the GI3 and CIB went back into the area, again, very determined to try and locate him because we knew that he was injured following the fall. And so they went back into the area and across the river they were able to encounter him. So he's now in custody. I'm happy to see that the people of Hattieville will be able to sleep with some semblance of peace because, believe you me, the people in that area are not contented at night when he was out there because they know his capabilities. We're hoping that hopefully over the weekend the police will be able to levy charges against him for the double murder as well as the other shooting that he was wanted for.
Joseph Budna is once again making the news, and as has been the case in the past, it is not for good reasons. He is wanted by police in connection with a cybercrime allegation. Reports are that Ramon Monchi Cervantes filed a police report against Budna for cyberbullying. Kumpel Williams says a warrant is out for Budna's arrest.
The cybercrime unit in Belmopan has been extremely busy. People are becoming more and more familiar with the law and are making these reports as they occur. And the unit is tasked with making sure that they do follow up on these incidents. And so, yes, I'm aware that Minister Cervantes had filed a report against Joseph Budna in respect to cyberbullying. And the police, again, is looking for Budna to follow through with that report to see if there is anything there that he can be charged for.
The explosion of firecrackers and the clashing of cymbals down the streets of Belize usually indicate the celebration of Chinese New Year for the Asian community, a time when members come together to dance, eat, and make some noise. This year, however, the Chinese Belize Association has opted for a more subtle celebration. We caught up with Honorary CBA Chairman Edmund Kwan to hear how the festivities are going this year.
Lunar new moon, actually, of every year. It usually falls in February or January or February.
What's the theme for this year's Lunar New Year? What's the animal that represents it?
This coming year is the year of the dragon. Basically, it's a zodiac sign, something like horoscope. The entire year is dragon. So if you're born in 2024, you're born in the year of the dragon.
What kind of activities and festivities does the association usually have during this time of year?
We usually have the banquet and the lion dance parade. However, I think we're the association, have some private personal matters. We're not doing it this year.
So instead, you mentioned that everyone will be celebrating privately within their homes. What kinds of activities does that entail, having a celebration within your house?
Okay, well, tonight is New Year's Eve. Traditionally, we on New Year's Eve, we sit down at home and everybody have dinner. They call it basically like a full table meal, where all brother sister usually sit down and have a dinner together. Something like of a Christmas Eve, something like a Christmas Eve, and then the New Year's. Then there's the opening year dinner. That is usually the New Year's banquet that we have, but people will make more likely celebrate that at home, no? With their family and stuff like that. But everybody choose a different date.
So I know it can be a bit disappointing that we're not going to have the parade this year. Are you looking forward for next year? Maybe we'll try and bring that back.
Definitely. It's just some personal issues and some things like the chairman, have some problems, and so we're skipping this year. We're skipping it. It's not forgotten.
February 10th marks the beginning of the Lunar New Year celebrations for 2024. Every year around this time, families come together to cultivate luck and good fortune for the new year. This is an especially significant time of year for the members of the Taiwanese community in Belize, who use this opportunity to commune and take part in their traditions together. We visited the Embassy of Taiwan to hear how they are celebrating this year.
Chinese New Year is also known as the Lunar New Year because it's not just celebrated by the Chinese, it's also celebrated by a lot of Asian countries. For example, Korea, Indonesia, Philippines. So in these countries, because they all used to use the lunar calendar, so which is why that Lunar New Year is also their national holiday. So in these Asian countries, obviously including Taiwan, we all celebrated the Lunar New Year. So Lunar New Year is in the ancient agricultural society is the only long vacation that people have, that they can gather around with their families and then hang out with their friends. So normally it lasts like 1 to 2 weeks, so people can have a proper rest and start fresh for New Year.
What are some of the traditions celebrated on this holiday?
Oh, okay, so in this Lunar New Year holiday, in our tradition, that red is the auspicious color. So we use red to decorate our house, and we use the spring couplets to put it on the front door of our houses, and then to show people, oh, this is an auspicious place. Okay, and also that because today is the New Year's Eve, and then so the members of the family, they will go back to their parents' house, and then they unite for a reunion dinner.
Being that so many of you are far away from your family members, what's the significance of celebrating it here in Belize together?
Yeah, it is really important that you can see that Belize is a multi-ethnicity, multicultural society. We have the Creole, we have the Mayans, Latin people, Garifuna, and obviously the Asian community. So it is all these people that will live together in harmony, and then we have a diverse cultural, and then but it is also really important that we go back to our cultural roots and to keep our traditional culture, and then this is, I believe, what makes Belize really special and very vibrant society.
Up next, in tonight's episode of The Bright Side, Shalene Oliva set to audition for America's Got Talent.
A major focus of the PUP's Plan Belize agenda was citizen safety and national security. This government ensured that our police and BDF could add to their numbers. New recruits were properly vetted and trained and are now working to serve and protect. With a focus on community policing and law enforcement, in 2023, the murder rate was the lowest it has been in over a decade. This government has provided proper working conditions for our security forces, renovated and built new buildings for our police, and renovated our BDF camps, which had been neglected for years. We're now building a new state-of-the-art base at Sarstoon, so our soldiers can safely and comfortably defend our sovereignty. We're committed to our people and committed to Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
These are the days of Elijah.
But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witness unto me in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. Acts 1:8. The Belize District Council presents Pentecost in Belize 2024. 2 nights and a day of praise and worship, fellowship, and the anointed sharing of the Word of God by local and international speakers. All are welcome to attend as we bask in the presence of the one who created us. Pentecost in Belize will be held on the 8th to the 10th February 2024, starting at 7:30 p.m. on the 8th and 9th February, and 10 a.m. on the 10th February 2024, to be held at the Best Western Plus Belize Bitman Plaza. See you and your family at Pentecost in Belize 2024. For more information, call 637-3106.
Whenever the PUP is in charge, there is always mismanagement, and the people of Punta Gorda know this all too well. This time around, it is the PUP councillors themselves who blew the whistle on their own mayor.
PG Town councillors alleged money mismanagement within their own council.
This is signed by 5 town councillors saying that there are financial irregularities in our council.
They have now switched from Charles Salgado to Carlos Obia. But this is the same Carlos Obia Galvez who was in charge in 2008 when town councillors claimed the PUP mayor we have has been mismanaging our funds, and he has been spending our money as if it is his own personal money. The mayor has run up our overdraft to 33,000, and the capacity approved by the Ministry of Finance for us at the bank is 15,000. They further accused Obia Galvez of racking up an excessive $4,000 fuel bill, almost a fifth of their monthly subvention, in just over a month, allegedly for use in his private taxi and tour business. And they claim Galvez's wife had signed for fuel on the council's account, which Galvez eventually acknowledged. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Punta Gorda has had enough of the PUP. It is time to elect Franklin Cranca Polonio, and the UDP team believes is always better with the United Democratic Party.
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
For 13 years under the Party of Talk, there was a drought, and our farmers suffered. There was no vision, no plan, no help for those who work to feed this nation, just incompetence and greed. The worst drought in the history of Belize, thanks to the UDP. And then everything changed. The borders were opened, and markets found for our cattle farmers. The Big Falls rice mill was reopened, providing jobs for our people, and 2,000 small farmers received grants and technical assistance through a program called Sembrando Vida. Today, our farmers know they are appreciated. They know that they are valued. Do you know why? Because of this PUP government, which works. Let's keep moving forward. In March, in every municipality, we stay on track with the PUP.
Belize, Darasaba Home Theater and Red Stripe present the official 20th annual tribute and concert to the late great Bob Marley. This event to be held on Sunday, February 11th at the Big Bird's Isle from 4 p.m. until. Entertainment include live DVD performance of Bob Marley on the big screen, live band performance by Family Fusion Band with selectors Tony G, Mad Rockamose, DJ Dalla, Soldier Sound, and DJ Wiz, all backed up by Silver Fox Sounds.
Love to see when you're moving the rhythm.
Entrance fee only $10. Bring out the entire family.
Hey, oh, what a rat race.
Sponsored by Steve Benedict Auto Sales, Creme Television and Creme Radio, Vibes Media Radio and TV, Leslie's Imports, Channel 7, Channel 5, Wave Radio and Television, The Angelus Press Limited, Digi Wallet, Honorable Anthony Mahler and Belize Tourism Board, Love FM, Caribbean Shipping Agencies Limited, Red Stripe, and Campari.
"14-year-old Shalene Oliva has a dream to share her gift of singing with the judges of America's Got Talent. If she makes it past her virtual auditions on February 25th, she may be the first Belizean to showcase her talent on one of the world's biggest stages. We visited her in San Ignacio to learn why this is important to Shalene and her family and how she's preparing for the opportunity. Here's Sabrina Daly with this week's Look on the Bright Side.
In a few weeks, Shalene Oliva will take a chance by proving to producers of America's Got Talent that she has what it takes to share her gift of singing with a panel of judges on one of the biggest stages in the world.
Not really sure how to feel about it. Something in the way you move makes me feel like I can't live without you. It takes me all the way. I want you to stay.
And I've always said, you know what, even if she doesn't make it this time, we'll reapply again. And not only to America's Talent, but to different other auditions in the US. And so, you know, until she gets there, because she's just getting better and better.
Her parents are more than certain that their daughter has potential to put Belize on the map in a new way.
We have always heard her singing in the bathroom, in the house, and so forth, but never took a mic to actually sing. And after that, we were just like surprised. Even our friends, you know, they were so surprised at how Shalene can sing so good.
All I can do is to, you know, to provide support, and that is even when it comes to emotional support. You know, to let her feel confident about herself, and like I said, that you know, she can do this. This is a shot, and she can do it.
Shalene Oliva is 14 years old with big dreams of being a professional singer. Her means to getting there is by sharing her gift on America's Got Talent. She has been preparing herself to prove to the producers that she has what it takes to compete against others with various talents. In just a few weeks, she will learn her fate.
You betrayed me, and I know that you'll never feel sorry. When I realized that I could have sing, I started to watch shows on YouTube, like different shows, The Voice, and that's how I came across America's Got Talent. And just watching others display their talent, I said to myself that someday I want to be up there.
Why do you love singing?
Well, I think the reason why I love singing is, well, you know, everyone goes through something, and I think singing is just a way to help me cope my emotions and just to help me control them better and just to let me express myself as well.
Over at St. Ignatius High School, all support is being given to the young talent. Vice Principal Diana Gentle says the school is proud to have her representing their institution.
I am extremely proud to be a part of the institution where Shalene is attending. And we are definitely looking forward to the 25th of February. I think it's the 25th of February. And we will be rooting for her. In fact, we have asked our student population to ensure that they subscribe to Shalene's YouTube channel, because we want the word to get out. If it doesn't happen for her this year, it will definitely happen for her in the near future.
Leading up to February 25th, preparation is key. Her father, Louis Oliva, sought a trainer for his Shalini to ensure that she is in shape for her big day.
In September, she started music school, so she only has a few months that she started music school, and with the idea to get her better. Because when we, even us, saw the videos and so forth, there are little technicalities that she has to work on, which she has mastered a lot of it, and she's still getting better. So it was not actually only for AGT, but to professionally get her better.
I go to Allegro, and my teacher is Mr. Yo Elvis. Right now we do like every class session. When I come, he would always let me do warm-ups to get my voice ready. And then sometimes we focus on like songs and stuff, but right now we're focusing only on technicals. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
What's that for?
That's for the pitch control.
And as Shalini prepares herself both physically and mentally, her mother, Elida, recognizes that this opportunity is deeper than their daughter getting a shot. They are representing their country.
I just need to encourage her and let her believe that, this is a step forward, not only for her, but she's representing our family, all Belizean, home and abroad. And there will be challenges, but to embrace them and look at them in a positive way.
Should Shalini make it past the auditions, she will begin fundraising for her journey to the live shows in May. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Carla Ayers Musa. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.